why I see gay science so important when it comes to existential values. So in gay science, Nietzsche first time introduces the death of God. He brings the madman into the town, and the madman comes and starts saying to people that the God is dead. And he said, and we have killed him. We are the ones who has unchained the earth from the sun. We are the ones who have drunk the whole of the ocean. We are the ones who wiped out the horizon, the whole of the horizon. We have killed him. And people just laughed at him. So what Nietzsche says that is basically we have killed God, because with the development of science, we don't need religion anymore. But now what are you going to do? As Dostoevsky says, if God is dead, then everything is allowed. So that's existentialism. That's absolute freedom, which Sartre built later on. But madman comes and delivers the message that God is dead. And people start laughing at him. And then Nietzsche introduces the last man. This is the last man who remained, but actually is a representative of the masses. And the last man said, well, but we have introduced happiness. So it doesn't matter that God is dead. We are happy. We have introduced happiness. We don't need you and to tell us that we need to revalue the values and introduce our own values, because we already have values. And then Nietzsche says, when Buddha died, the shadow of Buddha hovered over the caves for thousands of years. So God is dead, but religious belief is still there and is hovering. It is actually within the mentality of humanity. And the madman goes away, but the message has been delivered. God is dead. So what do we do now? In aphorism 290 in gay science, the famous aphorism 290, Nietzsche says, what are we going to do now? He says, one thing is needful. And he says, to give style to one's character. This is great and a rare art, and is performed by those who have strengths to inquire into themselves, use all strengths and weaknesses and also reason, and then put them in artistic form. Give them an artistic form. So why artistic? Why artistic? Because art is where the freedom is. Artist is a creator. He doesn't care about the rules. He is free. He creates. This is why Nietzsche wants us to perform that great and rare art, to look inside, to observe all our strengths and weaknesses, and give them an artistic form. Again, what are strengths and weaknesses? These are our drives, our passions, our desires. And we have to calculate them together with our reason, take all together and give it an artistic form, our own. And he says also, it is only the weak characters without power over themselves that hate the constraint of style. So weak characters don't want to do that because they can't do that. They will still cling to Schopenhauer pessimism or Christianity, and they will end up their lives believing that the better life, because it's not here, it's obviously never going to be here for a weak character, the better life is somewhere else. So I'm going to give my life for whatever values I have been taught and I've been presented, but I know that the reward is the greatest one. I'll go to heaven. An amazing premise and promise. If somebody says to you, do this, and then I'll give you 10 million pounds, you're going to look at him and says, really? Where are you going to find them? Well, in the other world. You will never do that. You will never do that. And put that concept, that reasoning, that analogy into any other environment, and you will never follow that. But when it comes to that ultimate promise, eternity, it works. And this is why religion is so powerful. And this is why Nietzsche fought all his life against that imprisonment of human soul by succumbing to this external evaluations which are acting as prison.